My next guest is Ryan. He's with Central Valley Justice Coalition. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to meet you.
Thanks for coming. And what is it that you guys do at Central Valley Justice Coalition?
Well, at Central Valley Justice Coalition, our mission is to partner with the church and the community to prevent human trafficking. Okay. So human trafficking is what we would call modern-day slavery, and it's when somebody is basically used or exploited for economic profit against their will and using force, fraud, or coercion.
Okay. And so how do you guys... where does the pedal meet the road? Or where does the foot meet the... You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. What you mean. Yeah, so we're a group that started as a group of volunteers, people who were just concerned and wanted to do something to take action against this terrible evil of modern-day slavery. And so we've been around since 2010, but last year we made the leap, and I left my job. I had been working as a pastor for 9 years, and I left my job to become the full-time executive director of the coalition. So since we started fundraising and became a nonprofit, we've grown by 35% every year. So now there's 4 of us that are employed there, and then we have a whole team of volunteers and things. And so the way that we work to prevent human trafficking is through partnership, through education, and through outreach. And so to give you an example of what that is, we partner with a lot of other organizations. So we know that it's going to take a whole bunch of different organizations to make this happen, and we actually work directly with the police department. We work with the Department of Social Services, so with social workers and others. We work with group homes. We work with existing organizations like Fresno EOC and Marjorie Mason Center. We're all privately funded, so sometimes we're able to be more agile in responding to certain situations too, because we don't have to wait for government funding in order to make a difference. But we all work together in partnership, and so there's actually we're partnering with the Central Valley Community Foundation to do something called the Pledge to Stop Trafficking, and you can find that on the web at pledgetostoptrafficking.org. And so that's an example of partnering to prevent human trafficking.
Okay, and by pledging, what is that?
So when you pledge to stop trafficking, you're saying I'm pledging to take a stand to learn about this issue and to make sure that that I'm informed and that I'm aware. And the next step would be then to donate in order to fund these organizations that are fighting against it.
So it's a good way of pressing the trigger to get involved.
It's a great first step. And we're all about first steps. We know that human trafficking can be a really kind of dark and foreboding, overwhelming topic, and so my organization, we're all about giving people easy first steps, on ramps into it. Because if you try to change, we encourage people to make one change. Whether it's even just thinking about what products you buy, for what kind of coffee you buy, what kind of chocolate you buy. We have an event called we had an event called Coffee and Chocolate, the Coffee and Chocolate Soiree, which was just at the Painted Table in November, and it was a wildly successful night, and it was really, really, really good. A lot of fun, and also for a good cause.
Okay, so now I have to ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
It could be easy just sitting behind the 4 walls of the church, being a pastor, just kind of going week in and week out. What caused you to launch yourself into this campaign?
Well, I've always been concerned. I got involved with trafficking because I was concerned about extreme poverty around the world and about the ways that people were being exploited. And then when I found out that that people were being exploited right in my own backyard, right in where I live, I felt like it was I had a duty and a responsibility to do more. And so I was already involved, working as a pastor. I was out in the community.
And not to discredit what pastors do behind the church,
I appreciate
it is a little more comfortable than
I appreciate your
chosen.
question. Yeah, I appreciate your question for sure. I had a very stable job, and I didn't have to fundraise and make sure everything came in. So it was a step of faith to go out and do that. As a pastor, I was involved with fighting homelessness. I was a CASA advocate for foster youth, and so I was pretty involved in the community. But it did take a leap of faith, and it was kind of, hey, okay, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. But fortunately, I've never missed a paycheck, and people have stepped up and made it happen. And we've got a great board of directors, and people have come on board to make it possible.
That's awesome. Good to hear there's support underneath you, and So one more time, where can they go to get involved?
Yeah, so they can go to justiceco.org, and I believe our phone number is also up there, so you can give us a call. We have ways for you to, like I said, we have ways for you to get involved. We're involved with education. We have a class for at-risk girls aged 12 to 18, which we do in group homes and at the Juvenile Justice Center, and now in a continuation high school. So we want to prevent. We love stories of people getting rescued, but for us, the best story would be no exploitation, and someone who was able to. We were able to intervene, and we were able to get ahead of that situation.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, thank you so much for what you guys are doing and looking out for the people that no one's really looking out for.
Well, thanks for having us on. Thanks for what you're doing here today.
Thank you. And I hope you come back sometime. Keep us posted on everything that's going on.
Would love to. Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.